Yeah, hey guys. Hold on a second here. Okay, so last time we did the job cost plus grid. So we're in the fourth session of the four-session webinar. And, okay. Just want to make sure somebody can hear me. Anybody, Patty, Linda, Tyson, can you guys hear me?
I can hear
Cindy?
you fine, yep.
Okay, good. Thanks. All right, so let's see what we're going to go over today. We're going to go over the work orders. We're going to go over the scheduling grid. And we're going to touch the contacts grid. So let's see what we can do here. Let's start with the scheduling. And I think, Linda, you use the scheduling grid, right?
Yep, uh-huh.
Okay. Okay, so the scheduling grid is tied tightly into the bid item grid. From the bid item grid, you can create scheduled tasks. Okay, so the grid can look different depending on how you pull it up, because you could basically detach and move things around, but we'll just go with this concept. Here we can, on our task criteria, we can select a job and click refresh. And it's going to just pull in the tasks that are either, you can have tasks on other jobs if there are dependencies set up on them. So let's see what we can do with that. I think in the previous webinars on this concept, we haven't done a lot with it, so we're probably going to end up typing some of the documentation and putting that in place. Okay. So we've got some different concepts. We have a task criteria panel, we have a timeline panel, and we also have a tasks panel. There are additional panels. If you click on Edit Task Types, it gives you the ability to add types. The types are down here, and it also gives you the ability to set the color. So your primary panels. Okay. Okay, so that'll this is the color they'll display. So if we add a type, and let's say this is new type. Pick a different color here. Dark green. And we come over here and we say this is a new type. And we're going to put the date 3. Now you'll notice everything kind of changed below it because we have a duration and there's a dependency. When you have the items change below it, you can select like that. That looks like that's the first item in our list, and then we'll have a dependency here. So the dependency is we're identifying this task as a dependent, as we're dependent on start to finish and with the 0 lag time. And if I say 1 day, it'll have a day lag time, okay? That kind of thing. And then I can come over here and I can say, let's say that's a 3 days duration or 15 minutes or 36 hours. Okay, so then it's going to equate it to days when I go over the number of hours. 2 months, I think, can work too. Yeah, maybe not. I guess it moves it to weeks. Might be the highest duration. Okay, so if we come over here to the task timeline, you're going to see that concept. So if we're going to say 3 days here, then it's going to get us in line here. There's a second concept that's kind of a completely separate timeline, and so we'll do something with that. Whoops. Yeah. Okay, so now we've got our timeline here. So these are the colors. The dark green is here, so that's our new timeline. And if I'm able to take and drag that over as well. Okay, and then so then down here it's going to change my duration. So if I come to my green item, so 419, 2100. I'm colorblind too, by the way, so you might have to bear with me a little bit. Okay, so see how we have that lag time pushing this off. So let's write that down. So we have task dependencies. And we'll have okay. Now we're going to talk about printing as well. Okay, so only the visible area will print when I click this. So I only see from here to here. If I want to print that, I got to move my bar to that area, and then I click print, and it's going to print what I see. Now, I'm going to show 2 pages at a time. If it doesn't fit on one page, it's going to print some on the next page. Okay, so here we have that concept, but realize it's only going to print what I show on the screen. So if I close this and I come over here, then that's what it's going to print, what I see there. So now there was nothing on that page, and there's that. So these icons up here will let me print more than one page at a time, or see more than one page at a time on the screen. So that's how that works. Okay,
Is there a
so
way to
then
choose the
next,
landscape on that? I
you
noticed
know,
that was in portrait. Is there a way to move it to landscape and be able to get more of it to fit in?
yeah, I don't think there is. This is really a specialized thing
Okay.
that we do. Let's see. That's an enhancement we could put into the system. We haven't enhanced this grid in a little bit. We've been focusing on other things, but it's something that we could do, and that's on our list of things that we want to improve, is that the printing ability of that. It does seem to work okay. You might have to be a little bit of a cut and paste artist when you print those, when you display those on your boards or however you do that, if you do it that way. So there are other ways to display your data more efficiently. So here we have the timeline interval, okay? And so we're going to talk about that. And this is basically allows you to zoom in and out on your timeline. So if we go 30 here, it's going to display 1, 2, 3, 4 months, okay? So if we say 300, it's basically a couple weeks. And if we say 1,000, it's a couple days, okay? So then you have a 25 to 1,000% concept. So if we say 100, it's going to do a few weeks. Okay, so then if we want to display this, it would have been much better if we would have done that in landscape to begin with, but there was an issue with it, and so hopefully we'll overcome that here soon. So if I do that, then I can get it to more of a one-page thing. Now, on this timeline interval, there's another concept here. I right-click in this area and click Customize. Actually, there's a better way to do this. Let's see, right here, and click Customize Timeline. You have the ability to do your group. So we have the Customize Timeline concept. And so you're going to right-click it toward the top of the Okay, so this allows us to group. Right now we're grouping by job. We could group by resource, though. And a resource can be an employee, it can be a sub, it can be a supplier, it can be a lot of different things. So if now we group by resource, we can see where crews are going, or employees are going, or subs are going, that kind of thing. You can do multiple groups as well. So let's say I want to do first I want to do job, then I want to do resource. Okay. So now I've got by job, I've got my resources coming in. So notice how the resources will group each other. They'll group after if there's no crossover time. So you have the two resources on the same row. The way you label your resources will show up here as well. So you want to be strategic on how you label things so that it means something to you. You could put the job name there, that kind of thing. So there's another concept here, and when we come to the timeline, we can do a show your number of tiers. So here, if we go to one tier, and let's say we go to none here, click OK. It gives us basically the one tier if it can, and then if you've got crossover, it's going to go to 2, 3 lines. So it can be more efficient that way. So I'm going to go right-click and customize. Now, when you set your timeline intervals, we should put this after that concept because they tie together. So the time allows you to zoom in and out of your timeline. And then tiering, I guess is what we should say. So it should be the customized timeline tiering. Found in the customized timeline dialog. So here's your customized timeline dialog. There's your customized timeline tiering. So if I come in here and I say I want it to be more concise, for example, my top tier is going to be day, then hour, then minute, then I can do that. And so you can see that now 50 means something very different than what it meant before. And 1,000 is probably going to mean like, looks like a few days. Okay, so now let's cover one more concept here. And we have a row header width. So if we change that to 100, and click that, let's see, let's change this back to where we had before so we can see more of this. Okay, so month, week, day. So we have show one tier, and we're only going with the month. So that's where we're showing. The one tier is just the month. Okay, so that's more of the header. So I guess if we should say 2, so it shows us the week. And the third, if we go 3, it's going to show us the day as well. So I think I said that wrong before. So there's the day. So month, and we go back to 30. We can see several months, and then you get the day, the month, the week, and then the date is showing up in 3 columns now. And on the headers, let's see, show the last group as a row header. So let's see what that does. So that brought the golden job more in line here, and then we can collapse it. So let's document that. So row headers, so customized timeline. I'm not a good speller here, so. Okay, so then that gives us an ability to make it more efficient. So if we want to know what's going on in that job, we expand it. Have nothing there, but so if we print, that job's expanded and the other jobs are not expanded. Okay, so it gives you some control. So I want to cover that last concept here, except I don't remember what this is about. Linda, do you know what's going on with this? That changing my height? What is that doing? Row header width. Oh, I see. Left and right, maybe. Yeah, there we go. See this row header width? Okay. Okay, so now those are those concepts. There's another concept called a schema, and we're going to find that here in a minute. There it is right there. Edit work hour schema. So okay, so this work hour schema allows us to set, what's the morning, how is that defined? Do we define a lunch hour? Do we define an afternoon? So then when I look at my lag times and I'm adjusting when something starts, it'll cross over the weekend, that kind of thing. So you have your holidays that you're not going to work, so it would move beyond the holiday. So if you have 3 days beyond to work and you hit the holiday, it's going to split it between before and after the holiday, but not on the holiday. So that's kind of how that works. Okay. There's an edit reoccurrence pattern. So if you say, if you have a reoccurrence concept, then you can set it to go to reoccur. So if you have a task that's going to reoccur, then you would set that. So within the work hour schema, we have a reoccurrence dialog. So there are different options with that. I haven't done much with this, so I'm a little bit Linda, well, maybe we need to have you do this. Anyway, there's a concept for your grid columns for here, for this area. You have a start date, end date, an infinite concept, start time, end time, and reoccurrence pattern. So the reoccurrence pattern would be every fourth Thursday of however that works. So your Thanksgiving is going to be the fourth Thursday of the month on the 11th month of your years with an infinite concept. Okay. Let's see what else we have in here. Some up arrows and down arrows. Let's see, where would we do that? Not sure where we do what that's impacting. Anyway, you can set as many work hour schemes as you want. There's only one set here, and then the schema is identified on the line item. See, we have only the one here, the schema. So somebody's phone is actually beeping in the background. Not sure. It looks like it was resolved or not. Not sure whose phone that is doing that. but you might mute your phone if that's you. Okay, so that's a look at the timeline, the task management, that kind of thing. And this is an area we want to expand as well. So in the future, I think we'll do more with it. Anybody have any questions on this area? I think Nyman's the organizer, and he can mute people. Are you in the session, Nyman? Let me see if I can get him to mute that. Hold on.